properly light a green screen for live video. We're going to talk about what to do, what not to do, things to avoid, and how to do it. I've even got a diagram for you today. So if you're new around here, please do type new in the comments. I would love to meet you. If you are new, then you don't know me. Hi, I'm Luria Petrucci. This is Abby the Chihuahua, and this is Go Live Now, a partnership between Live Streaming Pros, that's me, and Ecamm Live, my favorite Mac streaming software. And I'm actually going to show you how to use green screen inside of Ecamm as well today. So let's get down to business. Now, as you can see, I do have a green screen behind me, and I'm going to show you everything that you need to know to get a good green screen key. The key is the process of moving out all of the background so that you have this transparent little fun video, right? You can do fun things with green screen if you desire, or you can do something like I'll show you. I could actually make my background look like I'm in my home. So we will dive into all of that. Now, here are the dangers of green screen. So you want to do it, but I often don't recommend doing live keying and green screen for most people in a lot of different ways, because this is one of the dangers of your green screen. See how you can actually get this really like bad key? It's obvious it's green screen, right? So we want to avoid that at all costs. Also, perspective of your background can go really haywire. So you've got to pay attention to those things when you're actually using green screen. If you set your green screen up and you see this yellow-green kind of hue around you or your hair or your face or your clothes, then you know you've done it wrong and that you just need to light it better. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, the things that can affect your green screen success are things like the color of your hair. My hair was purple and it actually keyed out quite well. However, now that it's faded into this blonde, then actually that is causing a lot of problems, right? But also a big thing that can affect is the craziness, right? Like, so my haircut is actually quite like choppy. And so that can really cause a big problem. So when I put my hair back and I'm dealing with just the natural brown, right, we can actually get a little bit of a better key, right? So it can, now you can still see because you've got these things going on over here, right? But you can actually see that you can get a better key when you're not using things like crazy hair. Also different, colored hair. Colored is certain colors of your clothing can actually throw off your key and make it really difficult as well. So be aware of that. Also, the lens that you are using. So there's a reason that you're seeing my entire green screen back here, plus my actual set back there. And that's because I'm using a 16mm lens. And it's actually causing me, if I have the green screen placed in the correct position, which is, a few feet behind me, then I have to actually crop in this much in order to get rid of that green screen. So when I do green screen, and I'll show you this here towards the end of the video, I actually move my green screen way close to me, which is not proper. But if you know what you're doing, you can actually still light it properly and you can still get a good key. So we're gonna kind of demo a bunch of different things here. And again, if you do have questions, we're gonna, for the live for the people who are watching live, we're gonna do Q&A after I go through these demos. If you're watching the replay, well, then you gotta join us live so you get access to those live Q&As. Now, let's talk about what it actually should look like, right? Your proper lighting should look something like this, where you have yourself about 3 feet away from the green screen, where you are lighting yourself or your green screen separately from you. So if you actually can't, hold on. Oops, hold on, let me go here. So see how you have the different lighting coming in? You want to avoid as much lighting coming to you from the green screen lights as possible. That's why you want some distance, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually light the green screen separately. Hopefully we have one at the top kind of going down, filling in any possible shadows. Then you have your personal lighting, right? So I have these two lights in front of me, and I have a hair light as well pointing right here. You can see that hair light kind of filling in this up here. So yes, I could put a hat on, which I did not actually grab, but I could do that as well, right? But I don't want to have to wear a hat, right? So we want to avoid having to wear a hat in order to get a good key. So, you know, you just got to work with what you have available to you. But this is the actual proper lighting. So I noticed that a lot of you were saying during the countdown timer that you've been using green screen and you're having a hard time lighting it. I want you to follow this diagram as much as possible. Now, some of you may not have the room to, I have Abby underneath so that she doesn't get hit by the green screen, and she just left. So some of you may not actually have the room, right, between you and your lighting and putting the green screen, but the danger of having the green screen way too close to you is shadows, right? So you'll see when I pull the green screen forward in a minute, then you're gonna see kind of some shadows from me hitting the green screen, and that can cause problems with your chroma key. Okay, so I want to go to this camera right here, the behind the scenes camera, so you can see, like, I am a few feet away, right, from my green screen, and I have those two lights pointing at the green screen. Now, I am not using a top light like we talked about in the diagram. Ideally, you would have that. This is not a permanent setup for me. So I have kind of hacked my lighting today, right? So, but that's how my studio is set up for the purposes of this video. And I just want to go over a few common issues when it comes to lighting a green screen. So if you are having problems, then you might be dealing with one of these things. Like I said, too close to the green screen. You'll see that in action here shortly. If you're not using a green screen like I am, I'm using the ELGATO roll-up one. So it rolls up and down into itself. And it's beautiful because it doesn't cause any wrinkles, right? But if you're using a fabric green screen or one that kind of twists into itself, those can have wrinkles. And so that might actually be causing you issues as well. Now, if you also are not using a backlight, that can also cause more issues with your keying. And CK says, but what if I wear a green screen suit? The lighting has to be on me and my suit. Don't wear a green screen. Don't wear green and a green screen, or blue and a blue screen. I've done that. I've been there. It was horrible, unless you're trying to make yourself look like a ghost, right? Okay, so let's get down into a little tutorial. I'm gonna leave my setup like this and show you how I created the Mario, this little fun graphic, right? We have this graphic kind of already installed. This is a movie file, and then I've actually added on, let me go into demo mode. I've actually added on the camera overlay, right? So we have the Mario, here, let me just like remove my, okay, we're gonna add, so we have this movie file, right? You can see it's looping, and Abby's just coming up on a loop. And then what we're gonna do is literally just add this camera overlay, right? So we have this box, the overlays. We're gonna add the camera overlay, and then we're going to choose the camera that I want. And I'm going to actually make this square to fit there, and then bring that here. Now, again, notice perspective. When you're working with green screen, gotta notice perspective, and that will really help you key out proper, or like think about what it should look like in person. Now, obviously I don't want to be in front, so I'm going to actually drop my camera behind, oops, not behind the background, but behind the front. So we have two different files that are creating this scene. So now I'm in the middle of the framing, right? You gotta watch your hands too on green screen. Stay within your box. Stay within your box. And so then what we're doing is, normally this would look like this. So we've got the green screen, and you want to click the green screen box. And then in this particular case, you actually can just choose transparent, because let me just go from scratch. So it would look like this, right? We're clicking green screen, and then we want transparent because I want to be in this zone. Now we have the green screen coming. I could move the green screen over, but you could also zoom and pan and then set, right? Just like move it around and set so that it feels right. Okay. And then I could make myself bigger if I wanted to. Let's see, could do that, right? I could do whatever I want, but think about how it looks. Not like this is like in person. Oops, I did not mean to just close that window. Hold on. What was it? Overlays? No, I have overlays open. What did I just close? What did I just close? Oh, yeah, okay. It's this one. The filters. Okay, there we go. The camera effects. All right, so that's how you kind of set that up. And again, you can have all kinds of fun. Oops, look, I did not do it. It's looking okay. I just hid the little sliver that was popping up over here. Now, I want to actually show you something else. Now, for the purpose of this, I'm actually going to move. I don't have my trusty assistant, Callie, here today, but I'm actually going to move these lights. Can I get them over here? And then I'm going to move my green screen to where I actually use it on a normal basis. So for me, I actually move my green screen over closer to me. So I'm going to do that now. And see, this is what I love about this green screen. It just like folds into itself. There we go. Okay, we're going to move that closer. Actually, what I'm going to do is not ruin everything and find out how I can get in here. Hold on. I'm going to maneuver. We're maneuvering. We are moving. Okay, there we go. All right, so now, oh, it needs to be moved over this way. Hold on. So I want to encourage you to be aware that green screen does take quite a bit of, adjustments for your personal setup. Now, see, with this 16mm lens, I'm still getting that, right? So I'm as close as I want to get to it. Now, we can see the shadow. This is what you're dealing with if you get your light too close to you, or your green screen too close to you. I'm going to try and adjust these lights here a little bit. Now, the danger that you have when you're making these changes, I've got a bit of an awkward situation here. Whoop! See, you don't want the light to be too close, right? So you would want to move your light kind of away from it or dim it. So in this case, I'm actually going to dim this a little bit. There we go. Now, you can see a little bit of shadow from me, but I've keyed it out, or I've lit it enough that it's not too bad. So what we're going to do now is build out. You guys are always asking me. You're always asking me if my set is a green screen. So I'm going to give you reason to believe that maybe I am using a green screen from time to time. Okay, so what we're going to do now start with a new scene, and I'm going to bring in my camera. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is bring in the green screen. Okay. But I'm not going to use one of the natural ones. I've actually put in a picture of my set, but it's already blurred. So you can see like my real set over here. Now, because my green screen is still too, like this lens is too big for this, right? Or too wide for it. So then I need to like kind of zoom in as much as I can and lose that side. There we go. So this is my normal set. And now you can see. Now we want to play with the fade level. See, definitely not this, right? We don't want that. We want my shirt to be solid. We want none of this as much as possible, right? So you just got to like play with it, adjust it. And this is why I'm getting a bit of that because of the lighting, you know, and the green screen being a little too close to me. Again, yes, true. Okay, hold on. Another option is to do the camera overlay and crop the edges for sure. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this blonde hair here. And if you have blonde hair, you can still do this, right? Just you got to get the right lighting. You got to get it set up that way. Okay, hold on. I don't have a hair dilly properly. Okay. So what Paul was saying was literally we could start with a blank screen, add the camera overlay, right? Change this to the main camera. We could do this, and then we could just kind of crop this like this. Boom. If you put your background, right? Put your background there. We're going, oops, choosing the background itself. Wait. Hold on. Yeah, so you can, oh, there we go. So we could do something like this. And then you have your background in the background, right? Let's see. It's not showing up right now. Where's my background? Anyway, so back, to this, like you could do it a couple of different ways. But now that you have it kind of keyed out, then you want to make sure that you look at all of the things. Where are you seeing where it's obvious that it is a green screen, right? With a little bit more lighting on the green screen, a little separation. I'm hitting my desk right now. I could move the lights, right, to adjust that. But again, what you're really doing is trying to get to this. This is your ideal. You're going to make some adjustments based on your setup and the lights that you have. But that, oops, I'm still in demo mode. But that is what you're trying to accomplish, okay? So I have my background in the background. Isn't that repetitive? Yes. So you can see how I can like fool you with my set background, right? So who knows what I might be doing later. Now, if you want to learn more about green screen and how you can use it to engage your audience, like with that little Mario pop-up, right? Something like this. I actually have a whole video right here, actually, that you can go watch and learn more about for green screen and using that with your live streams effectively to engage your audience. Now, if you are watching the replay, please do join us live so that you can ask questions. We're going to go into live Q&A for our live viewers, and I will see you in the next video.